Hi everyone, welcome back to Turn This Way with me, Jennifer Radkey, your Mindset and Clarity Coach. In our last podcast episode, we discussed labels, self-imposed and imposed on us by others. We learned the limiting effects of them and how to move beyond our labels. Today's topic relates closely to last week's, so if you haven't listened to episode 13 yet, make sure you go back and give it a listen. Today, we're diving into something that I know so many of us experience but rarely take the time to untangle: the internal tug-of-war between the roles we play in our lives. Whether you're a parent, partner, professional, entrepreneur, friend, or caregiver, these roles often pull us in different directions, demanding our time, energy, and focus. But here's the catch. When we give so much of ourselves to these roles, we can lose sight of who we are as a whole person. Let's explore how to identify these conflicts and reclaim your sense of self. So the idea for this podcast came to me a few months ago after a conversation with a friend. We were discussing our weekend plans while at a homeschool park meetup with our kids. Have you ever heard the saying, wearing a lot of hats? Some people take a lot of pride in their ability to wear many hats at once. Anyways, my friend and I both wear a lot of hats. We are both moms, we homeschool, we work, I'm a coach, she's a college professor. Anyways, she asked me if I was getting enough Jenn time. It was a well-meaning question. She was checking in to see if I was setting aside time for personal interests and self-care not linked to being a mom or an entrepreneur or a wife, etc. Her question made me feel really unsettled though. It really got me thinking about the dangers of identifying too strongly with our roles, as if they are in competition for our time and energy, and that when we are these roles, we are somehow not our true selves. Aren't I Jenn all the time? Let's start by acknowledging that these roles are not inherently bad. In fact, many of them bring us joy, purpose, and connection. But the problem arises when the demands of one role start to overshadow the others. You feel torn between competing priorities, like being a great parent versus excelling in your career, or you lose sight of your personal needs in the process of meeting everyone else's. This internal conflict can show up as overwhelm, guilt, frustration, or even resentment. You may feel as if you never have enough time for everything in your life, or that you are even putting parts of yourself on hold in order to fulfill personal and external expectations. You might think, how can I be everything to everyone without falling apart? Or you may be asked questions by your friend, are you getting enough you time? The truth is, you can't be everything to everyone without falling apart, and that's okay. Recognizing this is the first step toward creating harmony. How do you know when your roles are taking over or when you are giving too much power to the expectations of your roles? Here's a few telltale signs. Let's walk through them together. The first, feeling disconnected from yourself. You can't remember the last time you did something just for you. You may often have thoughts like, I'm so busy being a parent that I can't enjoy hobbies. Or, my business is so consuming that I can't think of anything else but work. When you do find yourself with some spare time, you fill it with obligations instead of time for self-care, fun, or growth. The second sign, constant comparison. You find yourself looking at others and thinking, why can't I handle it like they do? You may find yourself feeling jealous of those who look like they have it all together. Another sign is decision fatigue. Even small choices feel overwhelming because your mental bandwidth is maxed out. You are so busy at checking off the boxes for each role that you play that you become exhausted by what seems to be a never-ending to-do list. And the last telltale sign is guilt. Guilt in all directions. You feel guilty when you're working because you're not with your family, and guilty when you're with your family because you're not working. You feel guilty when you take time for hobbies, relaxation, or even vacations because your sense of responsibility towards your roles is overpowering. If any of this resonates, know that you're not alone. Many of us struggle with this balancing act, but the good news is there are ways to ease the tension. Here's the mindset shift. Instead of seeing your roles as competing forces, view them as integrated parts of a larger whole. Your roles don't define you. They're expressions of who you are. When you are a parent, you don't stop being a parent when you are running a business. When you are an entrepreneur, you don't stop being an entrepreneur when you are caring for an elderly parent. You are all roles all the time because they are all just part of the bigger picture of what makes you you. Here are a few strategies to help. Prioritize alignment over balance. True balance is a myth. Balance suggests separation. Alignment suggests integration. Focus on aligning your roles with your core values. Ask yourself, what matters most right now? Next, set clear boundaries. Learn to say no when a demand conflicts with your priorities. It's not about letting people down. It's about protecting your energy. Create space for self-connection. Take time daily or weekly to check in with yourself. I cannot stress this enough. Journal, meditate, or simply sit quietly and reflect on how you're feeling. Reflect on what each role brings to your life and what character strengths are allowed to shine within these roles. Notice the connection between them all and how they are not separate forces pulling on you from different directions. They are allowed to all move together as one. Be kind to yourself. Drop the perfectionism. You're not failing because you can't give 100% to everything at all times. You're human. Lastly, communicate your needs. Let the people in your life know what you're navigating. Often they'll be more supportive than you expect because they are most likely facing similar internal battles. Here's a little homework for you. Make a list of all the roles you play. Next to each role, write what it gives you, like joy, purpose, connection, and what it takes from you, like time, energy, or focus. And then circle the roles that align most closely with your core values. This exercise will help you see where your time and energy are going and where they should go to better reflect who you are. Remember, you're not just the sum of your roles. You're a whole person with dreams, needs, and a unique identity. By embracing all the parts of yourself and learning to prioritize with intention, you can live a more aligned and fulfilling life. Thank you for turning in to Turn This Way. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need this reminder. And don't forget to leave a review. I'd love to hear your thoughts and reflections on today's topic. Reach out to me on social media. Until next time, keep turning towards your best self.